Hello, my name is Jess Lam. I'm a director of product here at OpenSpace. And today I'm going to be walking you through some of our major releases in Q2 and both through the product. So some of the things are live or in beta, as well as a couple features on our slides. If you haven't caught the recording from or video from Q1, you can go back and find that on our LinkedIn account where we posted it. And we're doing these every quarter just to give our customers a better overview of everything that our teams are doing, because we release every day. So new features or improvements or bug fixes are coming out all the time. And we want to make sure that you all know about all of the things that we're doing for your teams, so that you can make sure that the folks out in the field are getting the most value out of OpenSpace. But before I jump into the product and some of the improvements we've made, I did just want to let all our customers know that we are going to be attending both Groundbreak and Autodesk University. So drop by our booth, either events or both. Check out some of the newest features we have coming out. We'll have some demos of things that aren't released yet. So yeah, drop by our booth and catch up with one of our OpenSpace team members. So I'm going to start off by jumping into the product. And when, at our core, OpenSpace is about making it as easy as possible to capture images and other reality data on the interior projects. You can do capture on the outside, but once those walls and ceilings go up, being able to quickly understand what's going on the inside of your project. But to do that, you don't always have lighting perfectly set up everywhere. As we can see here on this project, there's some dark areas. And so one of the big improvements we've made, and this came from working closely with a lot of our customers, are the new image enhancement controls. So you can increase, or you can control the brightness and shadows and sharpening here. So this can all be done manually. So you can see here, as we increase the brightness, you can start to get a little more detail on the background of this photo. And this works well if you're capturing parking garages or mechanical rooms that maybe don't have a ton of light just yet. One other note I wanted to call out that you'll see here is we have an auto enhance feature. So this is we're using AI to automatically enhance the brightness and shadows and sharpen the image. This feature is in beta. So if you'd like to get access to this feature on your active project, reach out to your customer success representative, and we can get you added to the beta. And next up, I wanted to note a couple of features that are going to make it easier for your teams to get work done. So if you're familiar with our Field Notes feature, this will look quite familiar to you. But one of the improvements I wanted to call out is being able to assign field notes to other people on the team. So this is really our ball and court feature, which is really important if you're observing issues or making notes of things that you're discovering on the site, and you really want to make sure that something gets done. Now you actually be able to assign these field notes to someone, so that you can ensure that this work actually gets done. And this is really helpful if you've added your trade partners to the project, or if you are a trade partner and you've got members of the GC team on the project or other trades. You can assign questions that you have or tasks that you need people to do to them, so that you can ensure that it actually gets done. And in addition to this assignee, we've also added the ability to add additional photos to field notes. So you see here, we've got this initial image, and then you can also see that we've added a couple extra images. And these images will both appear as attachments, as well as appear in the new activity timeline here for the field notes. So you can see when people have added comments, and you can also see when those photos were added. So this really gives you a bit of a change log of this field note and what's going on. We have plans to add additional items to the activity list here, but one of the big improvements or things that our customers are finding value with these additional photos is that you can track an area over time. And if it's an issue you're observing, or if you're wanting to track progress of a certain point, it makes it much easier to add additional photos. And then if it is an issue, once it's been resolved, you can actually add a resolution photo and have the peace of mind that that issue is closed out. You know who it was assigned to, and you can continue to plan the next stage of work and make sure that you're staying on track for your schedule and on track for your budget. And the assignee feature is available also in the tags or in the filters list here. So if you're just trying to find field notes that have been assigned to yourself, you can go ahead and click the name of the person you're looking for and filter by all of those. So if you do have a trade partner that's in your project, or maybe you have the superintendent from the GC team, you can go through and quickly find all of the field notes that have been assigned to them. And from there, you can export that with the field note report, which actually has, we've been making a number of improvements to the field note report as well, based on feedback from our customers. Let's go ahead and clear those filters. One feature that I wanted to sneak in as well is the new For Me filter. So if you click the For Me button, you can actually filter down to things that were assigned to yourself, things that you're watching. So if you're on the field note watch list, or ones that you've created. And so you can quickly see all the field notes that are most relevant to you. So for those of you on projects where you're creating dozens or more field notes a week or a day, you can quickly find everything you're looking for by filtering down with the new For Me tab, For Me filter. And you might have noticed that some of these field notes have different colors. And those are actually tied to the custom field note statuses. So now with field notes, you can actually customize the statuses that appear here to align with the way that you work already. So if you're running a specific type of process, like let's say you're doing a safety inspection, then you can make sure to have statuses in here to cover different steps in that safety inspection workflow or in your QC inspection workflow. And to access or to customize your statuses, just click on the gear icon in the bottom left. That'll open project settings. You go to the field notes tab and click on status here, and that'll bring you down to the bottom of the page where you can edit existing statuses, you can delete them, you can reorder them. And so just gives you control, and also change the color. This gives you more control over the way that your teams or project teams are working, so you can have a standardized, unified issue tracking experience across OpenSpace. And that's really some of the key improvements we've made to the Capture product for your teams to be able to get work done faster and more collaboratively. Next up, I wanted to walk you through some improvements we made to scaling your operations with OpenSpace. So one of the big improvements and releases we've had this year is the new subscriptions portal, where you're able to view your OpenSpace subscription, so that ACV capacity you purchased, and to better understand how it's being applied across your projects and get new projects spun up and see how that would impact your current subscription. So you can click the new project button to create a project. Let's just add a test project here. So I'm located in Seattle, so let's do a Sounder Stadium fit out, and just drop an address in here. And then on the next page, you'll be entering your start and end dates as well as your contract value. And that'll help you understand, what the impact will be to your current capacity and subscription. Not going to add that right now, but once you've added projects, you can then go into your specific subscriptions and see the different projects that you have, the drawdown that these, or the amount that these projects are drawing down on your subscription, and also see the contract values. So this gives the admins of our OpenSpace orgs a lot more control and visibility into how they're using their OpenSpace contract and subscription across their portfolio, and how they might want to start thinking about the next set of projects that they want to add to OpenSpace and how that will impact the subscription. If you have questions about the subscription portal, reach out to your CSM, your customer support manager, or sorry, customer success manager to get to learn more today and to get onboarded. In addition to scaling the people on your team, we're also always thinking about how do we get more of your reality data into OpenSpace. So it's really becomes a one-stop shop. With on our capture team, they've been working on bringing more drone data into OpenSpace. So we know a number of our customers are out there flying their projects, not just walking the interiors on the ground. And so with our new elevation captures feature, you're able to fly the exterior of a building and see that capture and that flight path on the outside of the building and the 360 images, as well as on the elevation drawing over here. And so you can quickly jump to key parts of the exterior of a building or structure that you want to inspect. And we're going to continue to add more ways for you to bring your drone data into OpenSpace so that you can combine the overhead visual progress of your site with what's actually happening on the interior to make the overall planning of your projects much easier, and to make sure that your teams actually have access to all of that data in one place. And next, I'm going to walk you through one of our newest products, BIM Plus, which we announced at Waypoint. So BIM Plus is a product that was built in a similar way to bring additional data all into one place for your project teams. So sometimes if a team doesn't have access to point clouds or drones because they're in different tools, or maybe they didn't even know they existed, then they don't have all the information readily at their fingertips that they could to be able to make decisions quickly and continue to get things done. So with BIM Plus, we're really focused on making the model more accessible and more useful for field teams. So we've partnered with VDC managers to design a set of features and workflows that are going to enable and empower superintendents, project engineers, project managers to compare their model to the work in place and to make decisions quickly and collaborate to get work done. So let's take a look at BIM Plus. So you might be familiar with our BIM Compare feature, which is available in Capture. So you don't need to purchase BIM Plus to get access to BIM Compare feature. But some additional features and power that you can get with BIM Plus, in addition to just being able to navigate your model easily using the 2D drawing and 360 photos, is the ability to bookmark a specific location for your team or for yourself. So let's say that I'm the superintendent for the MEP trades on the project, and I've got a really congested corridor where a lot of trades are going to be intersecting over the next few weeks. And of course, we've coordinated it, but I want to keep a close eye on it. So typically you would have to navigate through the model using 3D model tools and understand how to hide and show different layers, or just have a specific model to look at. Well, with OpenSpace's BIM tools, and make it easy to hide and show what you're looking for, so you can uncover the equipment or materials that are most relevant to what you're trying to get done. But to make it even easier to get back to that place, one of the key features of BIM Plus is saved views. So you can create a new view once you've set up the view that you want. So hiding walls or ceilings or different materials. When you save that view, it'll actually maintain which layers were hidden or showed. So you can quickly jump back to that location. So for example, let's say we jump over to this area of the floor and I want to get back to where I was before, because I've been keeping an eye on that kind of congested corridor, and I want to bring that up in my coordination meeting that's starting, in the next few minutes. So that makes it super easy for me to jump to different parts of the project where I'm trying to communicate with my trade partners or other members of my team, or just keep an eye on specific areas of the project as the site evolves and as work progresses. And let's say that you spot something let's say spot something looks off or that you have a question about. Well, with BIM Plus, when you create a field note and you have the model open, it does more than just save that image from the 2D or from the 360 image. It also includes a view of the model, and you can mark that photo up just like you can with other field notes. And you can also, or you also notice that we automatically add a tag for BIM compare. And so what that does is that when you go to run a field note report and you want to pull all of the images that also include the model, you can go into the field notes list and the tags list and select BIM compare. And that's going to limit all the field notes. It will limit the field notes that are returned to the ones that include a view of the model. So if you want to then export a field note report to send off to your VDC team, it's just a couple clicks and they'll have all of the field notes that include the model in their hands with links back to these actual field notes on the project. Let's say your VDC team and most likely you are also using a model coordination tool like Revisto or Navisworks. You can now export your field notes as a BIM collaboration format or in BIM collaboration format or BCF, which will allow you to take your field notes from OpenSpace and pull them into your BIM collaboration or coordination tools so you can see those issues in the modeling tools. This feature is still in beta. We're doing some work to add 3D coordinate positioning so that those field notes will actually appear in your model, or those issues will appear in your model. And that'll be coming out over the next few months. And the last feature I want to show is really geared more towards the project admin. So those of you out there setting up your OpenSpace projects and helping get the model into the tool. So with BIM Plus, we're trying to make that even easier. So previously you had to upload the models directly to OpenSpace, but now we have the ability to import models directly from BIM 360 and ACC build. So if you're signed into Autodesk through inside of OpenSpace, then you'll be able to access the Autodesk import button and pull down project files once your project is linked from BIM 360 or ACC build to your OpenSpace project. This feature is also in beta. If you are already a BIM Plus customer, so that means you have a BIM Plus subscription, these features are available to you now. If you don't have access to one, we can add your project to the beta so your teams can start testing them out. If you haven't purchased BIM Plus yet, but you'd like to test these features, please reach out to your sales representative and customer success manager to learn more about how your teams can start using BIM Plus today. And one last note that or feature of BIM Plus I wanted to call out is BIM offline mode. So we've heard feedback from a lot of our customers that not all of their projects have access to Wi-Fi, or maybe they're in a remote location where the cellular network isn't good, or a lot of the work you're doing is, in a pit for a parking garage. And so it's difficult to pull down the model and access it when you're on the site. So with BIM Plus, we've recently launched BIM offline mode for mobile, which is now in beta, where you can actually download the model to a mobile device like your like a tablet or mobile phone, and then access it from the field on the go. So, if you're a superintendent, you don't have to call up the VDC manager now to answer questions using the model. You can pull it up yourself. We're going to continue to add functionality to this offline mode, such as save views and some other key components of the Capture product. So this is just the beginning. But really, we want to make sure that if you're in the field, OpenSpace has got your back to answer any questions, resolve issues, and capture any important information and get that shared out to the rest of your team. And next up, I'm going to be walking through some of the other major improvements we've made on mobile in Q2. So as you may have heard if you attended Waypoint, our announcement of heat notes. And so this is where we've integrated with the FLIR camera that can be connected to a mobile phone to be able to take infrared images of your site. This can be super valuable if you're doing inspections after welding, or if you're trying to identify where there might be heat loss from certain ventilation or even water leaks in walls or ceilings. So we've already got a number of customers out in the field already using heat notes. And if there's something you'd like to test out on one of your projects and get into the hands of your team, reach out again to your sales representative or customer success manager to learn more. And as I mentioned, we've launched that new field note gallery where you can see multiple images, or you can add multiple images to a field note. But we've also added that to mobile, and we've added a whole new filters list, which you can see here at the top of the screen. And also what we just watched was the ability to quickly filter by field notes that were recently created, but also by field notes that have recent activity. So if someone, and we'll just play through that again. If you have, if you're working a bunch of field notes inside of OpenSpace, you'll see by default that they're ordered by recent activity. So that means if someone's added new comments or attachments, or they've assigned to you, those field notes are going to be moved up to the top because those are the ones that you need to keep an eye on, because those are the ones that your team is actually working. In addition to these improvements, we've also added support for project groups on mobile, as well as support for shared folders. You can even generate field note reports from mobile now, and you can also manage the members of a project. So you'll probably start to notice that a lot of the functionality that you've grown to rely on and value on web or on desktop is coming to the mobile phone, because we've seen a huge amount of growth and interest in being able to access your OpenSpace projects on the go, whether that means you're out on site and you're talking to other members of the project, trying to resolve something in the room, and you need access to that information quickly about what happened, a few weeks ago or 6 months ago, or if you're on the go and you need to be able to easily manage your project and the data in your project. We want to make sure that all of those tools are easily available and accessible at your fingertips. And look out in the next few weeks, we'll be adding the ability to add sheets and also reorder those sheets from the mobile app, because we know a lot of the sheet management you all are doing happens on mobile devices these days, tablets and mobile phones. Great, and there's a lot of other improvements we've made to mobile. You'll see that we're doing releases about every 2 weeks, so just keep an eye out for updates, because we're always pushing the limits on what we can do with mobile. And as a leader in the space in terms of what reality capture on mobile devices, we want to make sure that you can do as much as you need to, regardless of where you are. So you don't need to be in a trailer at the office to be able to get work done with OpenSpace. And with that, I just want to say thank you. And if you are an existing customer, keep an eye out for a few exciting betas that are coming up. So being able to measure on top of 360 photos. If you want to join that beta, reach out to your customer success manager and they can get you on the wait list to test out the new measurements tool. On the OpenSpace track side, we've had some major breakthroughs in the last couple months. And we're going to be releasing cost codes or cost code tracking to beta in the next month or so, which means that you're going to be able to take that automated production data and break it down by cost codes. So instead of just tracking one type of wall, you'll be able to track, the 10 to 20 different types of walls on your project and have that percent complete and quantity installed based on your cost codes. And the cost codes can also be applied for other use cases. So if you'd rather track against zones or work breakdown schedule activity codes, they can be used for that. So reach out to your customer success manager if you'd like to learn more and get on the wait list for that beta. And there's a lot of other exciting features we have coming out. And so stay tuned to the customer newsletter coming out at the end of the month, as well as any outreach you get from your customer success manager to learn about the roadmap and betas that you could be participating in. That's all for Q2. I'll see you again next quarter. Thank you.